And we're live. And we're live. Let's see. Let's see. What is going on? What's going on? Say something so I can see. I said, hey, what's going on? How are you? How are you, Jennifer? Hey, guys. Welcome. Hi. Ah, what's going on? Good. We're starting to get some folks come in. How's everyone doing tonight? Victoria, we got Victoria, Jennifer, Bosha. So Robin's from Grangerland, North Houston. Well, I'm not sure if you know this, Robin. Maybe you do, but I'm in Houston myself. So shout out to you, Robin, and everyone else in the chat. Tell me where you guys are from. Oh, Matthew's from Ghana. Shout out to Matthew. Uh, Toxic Raider, you can ask me a question. Depending on what the question is, I may or may not answer, but you can ask me a question. You can ask me whatever you want. It's a free, it's an open discussion. But sometimes people ask all kinds of questions. So Jennifer's from the Bay Area. Cool. That's amazing. And thank you. So we got Tamoy is from India. We got India, South Africa. Tanisha, thanks for asking. I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing. It's been a long day. I've been kind of busy, but I've been looking forward to talking to you guys. I've been looking forward to this conversation. And yeah, Hong Kong. Wow, that is amazing. You know what? Like sometimes I see the comments, and I definitely need to visit a lot of these places. We got New Orleans. So let me try to shout out some people. We got Junior is from New Orleans. We got Danny Z from Arizona. Bosa's from Fort Worth. Awesome. I got a lot of friends in the Dallas area, in the DFW area. Jennifer's from the Bay Area, which I was actually just in San Francisco, like in December, so not too long ago. That's cool. We got Detroit, Alberta. Okay. All right. Well, shout out to each and every one of you joining. Let me just say thank you all for being here. We're gonna have a great discussion. We're gonna be here um, at least an hour. I think we do an hour. Just get some questions out there. Unless you guys run out of questions, then we'll end the chat. But thank you all for being here. Let's get the likes up so we can get more people. I appreciate everyone here. I can't say that enough. Yesterday on TikTok, I was having issues with my Wi-Fi for some reason, but hopefully we don't have any technical issues today. So I'm looking forward to the conversation. Make sure that you're dropping your questions below. I I'm excited to jump into the questions. If you want to support me, if you want to support the channel, I think you can donate. Okay. So this is like, I think this is my third live on YouTube. So I don't have a ton of experience with it. But if you want to support me, if you want to support what I'm doing, I do appreciate it. So thank you. I think you can do a super chat somewhere down there. So again, appreciate it. Go ahead and like the stream and we'll hop into the questions. So let's see. So we got Sujin. And again, guys, let me just say, if I don't get the names right, my apologies. I am trying, and sometimes I might not pronounce things right, so please don't take offense. But you should know when I'm trying to say your name at least. So Sujin says, I messaged her, but she didn't reply. Yes. So if you've been dumped, if you've been broken up with, you should not be messaging your ex. Okay. You should be giving them space, giving them some distance. But you got to understand, unless the only exception I would say, the only exception where you should be contacting your ex, well, it's a couple. One, if you have kids together, so you have no way around communicating with them, right? Because you have children. You know what? Let me do this. Let me do this. What in the world am I doing? Guys, I think you'll be able to hear me better now. Now that I actually got the mic on. There you go. Why didn't you guys say anything? Okay, I think you should be able to hear me better. Anyway, what in the world? It's been a long day. So let me get back to this, okay? So the only reason you should be contacting your ex is if you um hmm. Can you guys hear me any better now, or is it still the same? Maybe my mic is somewhere else. Anyway, let's get back to it. So the only reason, if you have kids together, obviously you have to communicate. There's going to be some communication with your ex, right? So that's one. The other is if when the breakup happened, like you did something to break the trust in the relationship, you cheated on them, you disrespected them, you hurt them in any kind of way, like genuinely, then you should make some effort to communicate and apologize and try to work on things. But outside of that, if your ex just dumped you, like they're like, oh, I'm not feeling it, I'm not in love, I don't feel the feelings anymore, you should not contact them for any reason. Go into no contact. So, Sujin, that was. Um, I'm sorry about what you're dealing with, but definitely do not message her anymore. Okay. Do not message her for any reason. Okay. All right. Toxic Raider says, if it's a good TikTok she sent, if it's a good TikTok she sent, as it is saying, we rushed it and part of her has hope in us. Should I let her know not to text me unless it's significant and about getting back together, or ignore her? Well, so if she's sending you TikToks, I would say it depends on how long ago you guys broke up. But big picture, you shouldn't be giving her an ultimatum like, oh, the only reason you should talk to me is if you want to get back together. Understand it's going to take some time for you to work your way back into a relationship. So you don't want to say things like that, or like either you want to get back to me or nothing. Like, it doesn't work that way. But if she's texting you, what you need to be doing is trying to get together. That's all. You just got to focus on setting an appointment. So I used to work in sales before, and your main goal, your main objective when you pick up the phone and you call someone was to set a face-to-face appointment. It's kind of the same thing because as salespeople, we understood that the only way to build a connection, a rapport with a customer was in person. Relationships are the same way. So your only goal, if she's texting you, breadcrumbing, whatever you want to call it, is to set a date, set an appointment. You don't have to focus on the titles. You don't have to focus on a relationship because it's likely going to take some time for her to feel comfortable to want to get back together. Now, if she doesn't accept, if you say, hey, let's get together for drinks, she's like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. Then you can get out of the conversation. Like, all right, well, let me know if you change your mind. Enjoy the rest of your day. Something like that. Okay. Do not say either or. Either you get back together with me or nothing. I wouldn't frame things that way. Okay. All right. Victoria says, my ex is mad at me and walked away from the relationship because my son said he wanted to talk to him. I didn't know this until I saw him months later. I think you've asked this question before. I like, again, I might be missing something here. I might need more context. Maybe I don't understand what you're saying. It just doesn't make sense to me that your ex broke up with you because your son wanted to talk to him. That's again, I might be missing something. So maybe you need to either expand, give some more background, or you can book a one-on-one so we can actually talk about it. Because that just doesn't make much sense to me. Okay. Hey coach, I'm from Malaysia. This is from QK. I'm from Malaysia. We broken up 10 weeks ago, been in no contact ever since. She didn't reach out to me yet. Should I reach out and asked for a second chance. She broke up with me. No, stop begging. Okay. You always got to assume that you're bringing something to the table. You're bringing value to the relationship. So you don't have to beg for someone to love you. She dumped you. She walked away from you like you don't matter. What makes you think that because you call and beg 10 weeks later, she's going to take you back? Does not work that way. I promise. There might be an opportunity to fix things. And I want you to understand, I'm only saying this because I want the best for you. So I do want you to get what you want. I want you guys to fix things at some point. But part of fixing things at times is walking away, even if it's temporary. It makes you more attractive to your ex. Begging does not. Begging is not attractive. Forcing things is not attractive. Okay. So that's for QK. My ex has the kids come to her house so that I can come and get them and take them to school. Okay. What's your question? And that's fine, by the way. Tanisha says, hey, coach, so Valentine's Day is coming up. If my ex messages me happy Valentine's Day, how should I respond? Just say thank you. That's all you got to say. Just say thank you. I appreciate it. That's all. J Lo or J Lou, however you say it. How do I get my ex back? She's in a new relationship. You let her go. Okay. Especially if she's dating someone else. You let her go. Stop forcing things. A lot of times, I've said this in my videos, and I'm sure you haven't watched all of them, but it's not getting your ex back a lot of times isn't about forcing things. It's about letting go and allowing them to come to you. And a lot of times they will. A lot of times they will. I'm not saying every single time, but when you're always coming from a place of fear and you're trying to force things, it's very unattractive. I'm not sure if you've ever been to a car dealership and you ever tried to buy a car from a newer sales guy. They usually like try to pressure you. You know how it feels when someone's pressuring you to do something you don't want to do? Like, hey, check out this car. I'm telling you, it's very fast. It gets great gas mileage. It always comes off icky and gross. That's just human nature. People don't like to be pressured. So when you tell me she's with someone else and you're still trying to force things, you're only going to make things worse. So J Lo, back away, leave her alone, and let's see what happens. If her relationship or rebound fails, I'm sure she'll contact you if you give her the space. Okay. I hope that was helpful for you, J Lo. Let's see here. Mash. I think that's Mash or something. I can't really see. It's a funny squiggly name. I already have it. Mash or something. Hey, coach. My question is: me and my boyfriend recently broken up. Sorry to hear that. We lived together with his parents. So after the breakup, he decided to be friends, but I cannot bear to stay here. I gave him a lot of space. Yeah, you need to be looking for your next place of accommodation. As uncomfortable or as hurtful as that might be, I do think you're right. I do think you need to be finding some exit if possible. If you can, afford to move away, you should. And that space is not only healthy for you, it's healthy for him as well. And maybe you will fix things down the line, but you need to give him some space, okay? So I would be looking at trying to move out. Christine Hoke said, what's it mean when X says, you have a special place in my heart? It means they don't love you enough to stay and fight. They might care about you, but right now in this moment, they don't feel deep level of feelings that will make them stay and fight for the relationship. And that's okay. Sometimes people have to remember after losing you that, hey, you know what? She was amazing. I think I made a mistake. But when they say you have a special place in my heart, it means, kind of the whole I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I have love for you, but I'm not in love with you. I think there's a breakup book somewhere that everyone who's breaking up goes and they all say the same lines. It's like people always want to say nice things around the breakup. So it doesn't really mean anything significant, Christine. Matthew said, my question is when your girlfriend begins to pick up fight with you and says she's no more interested and tried to distance herself from you, but keeps on watching your status on WhatsApp. Okay, what's your question? That's a statement. Oh, okay. Thank you guys. I'm like behind, so I'm catching up to all your questions. Let's see here. Let's get some more questions. So I'm catching up to all the questions. All right. So let's see here. Eric says, my ex and I recently started talking and hanging out again. Good. But she stopped texting first. We haven't talked since Saturday. Should I text her or wait for her to text me? Well, you should wait for her to text you. And what that tells me is that you've just likely been texting too much, right? You've likely been texting too much, or, as soon as you started hanging out with her, you're already hanging out 3, 4 times a week. Maybe that's not the case, but basically you're giving too much right now. You still need some mystery. You still need to be a little aloof, be unavailable at times. So if I was you, I would definitely back away and see if she texts you. And when she does, stay off the phone. Set up an in-person meeting. Remember, relationships are built in person, not over the phone. So there you go. Danny Z says 2 months no contact, feeling like no contact is working against me. I'm the only one stressing and thinking a lot. How can I work on this? You can't do anything. You're at a phase right now, unfortunately, where you got to be waiting for her to make some move, right? And when I read that statement again, because I've been doing this for a while, I talk to, at this point, thousands of people from all over the world, right? Which is a blessing, by the way. Let me say, I'm really blessed to be able to talk to each and every one of you. But that statement tells me internally, you are coming from a place of fear. You are totally fixated on trying to force things to happen. Right? So no contact is not working against you. She just hasn't reached out to you. And all that tells you is that her level of interest for you, at least when things ended, was very low. Because when someone cares about you, they notice your absence. So no contact isn't working against you. It's helping you as best as possible. And she still hasn't reached out. So that tells me her interest in you is very low. I'm not sure what caused the breakup, what was happening before, but what I could say for sure, she doesn't have a very high interest in you right now. So you got to give her more space. Talking to her isn't going to fix that. All right. Lady V says, I don't even message him for our daughter. I'm at a point where I really feel free. Cool. There should be some communication about the kids, but hey, you two kind of have to negotiate that. Brandon says 5.5 year relationship ended based off of religion. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. She gave an ultimatum at the beginning of our relationship that also came from her parents. By the time I felt genuinely ready, she ended things. Yeah, like again, that's one of those ones that kind of doesn't pass my smell test. It's like, okay, if there was an ultimatum at the beginning of the relationship that, okay, you have to convert your religion or something, right? So you should have been making some effort towards that if you were okay with it before 5.5 years. And so she sticks around with you for 5.5 years, ignores the fact that you haven't changed the religion, and then she ends things, right? But as soon as she ends things or before you're ready to make the change and she walks away, no, that doesn't make any sense. Because if she really wanted to be with you, you're like, hey, I'm ready to convert now. I'm ready. I needed some time. Let's go do it. If that was the only issue, then she would stay with you. My guess is there's other issues. She's lost feelings for you. She's lost attraction, something deeper, right? And so now she's talking about the religion like that's the problem. Again, if you're ready to convert tomorrow, then it wouldn't be a problem because she would just stay with you. So I don't think that's the problem. All right. I already answered your question, Tanisha. If you get a Valentine's Day, just say thank you. Okay. Reply back to me says, what are your thoughts on dating, going out 2 months after the breakup? No contact for that long. I do want my ex back, but seen other people to practice the skills I lacked in the previous relationship. Yeah, I think if you feel emotionally ready, just be clear about your intentions, right? Because if you still want your ex back, that means you're not ready for something serious. So make sure you're communicating that to whoever you're dating so you're not out there hurting other people. Say, hey, I'm just, I'm kind of exploring, seeing where things go. I'm open, etc. I would just make sure you're communicating. Okay, Brandon again. I guess we're getting more clarification. He says a little over a month ago, a little over a month in no contact, and she's been watching my stories. Over our 6-year anniversary would have been in March. Okay, cool. Uh, the ultimatum was converting, which I had no problem. Yeah, okay. I felt this needed to be doing for the right reason and not only because of her. Yeah, but yeah, Brandon, maybe we'll circle back to you later. All right, Leanne says long distance relationship, 5 months, and then asked for space while together because going through a lot. Yet was there for him through his divorce, then asked for a reason and hasn't given me closure. Well, you can't wait for him to give you closure. Right? A lot of people you give your ex this ultimate power over your life. Like you're waiting for him to decide when you can move forward. If they're telling you it's over, you gotta, at least in the moment, you gotta accept that this is happening and you have to move forward with your life. Don't put your life on hold waiting for your ex to give you closure. That's giving them too much power. Okay. So I think the problem is you guys are only together for 5 months. So the connection might not be deep enough that no contact has a huge effect on them, especially considering the fact that you're long distance. So you have long distance and also you were only together for less than 6 months. So in my opinion, there's really nothing much to do. I wouldn't be waiting for him to give you closure though. I'd be trying to move forward myself. Let's see. Jennifer says, need encouragement. I'm on 2 weeks, no contact, and it's hard not to call him. But I've been really good and I've been journaling on my own, thanks to you. Well, that's amazing. I'm super proud of you, Jennifer. Stay strong. It is not easy. What you're going through is very difficult. So stay strong. This isn't an easy task, for one. And then secondly, you always got to remember what your outcome is. Like, what do you want? All right. Because if you want something, at times you have to do things that are difficult to get what you want. All right. So if you keep calling and texting where you're not even giving him the space to think about you, there's no mystery, right? An attraction, you have to spark some kind of desire. There's got to be mystery. And if you keep calling him just because you miss him, well, you're going to be missing an opportunity um, to let him miss you. Okay. So always focus on your outcome. As hard as it might be, contacting him is not going to help your situation, unfortunately. Let's see here. Hmm. Zan, shout out to you, Zan. Hello. I'm just seeing your comment. Hey, Zan, glad you're here. Connie says, hello, everyone in the room. Hey, Connie, how are you? So I'm kind of behind, so I'm just catching up to all these old messages. So I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anyone's question. So thank you for your patience. Hmm. So depth perception says, hey coach, what if I turned down friendship and told him I would be the one to reach out when I'm ready since I still have his stuff? Will he contact me? I'm 6 weeks no contact. Well, you kind of set up a scenario where you have to reach out to him, which I wouldn't have done. So um, let's see here. So I would reach out when I'm ready. I still have his stuff. Okay, so I think what you did was, and I might be missing something, so correct me if I'm wrong. You didn't accept friendship, but you said, I will reach out when I'm ready. Ready for what? Ready for friendship? Is that what you said? Like, oh, I can't talk right now. This is hard for me. I can't be friends. But when I'm ready, I'll text you. If that's what you did, you basically agreed to friendship, which isn't what you want. So again, I wouldn't have done that. But so now at some point, because of how you set things up, you likely have to initiate. I would still give it some time to see if he does on it on his own. But maybe after 3 to 4 months, you can say, hey, you want to come get your stuff and see what happens. But yeah, next time, don't set things up to where it's on you to contact someone who dumped you. You want them doing all the initiation. You want them doing all the work. So I wouldn't do that again. Okay. Matthew says, is she still interested? Where's Matthew's first? I'm guessing that's a follow up. Oh, okay. The one who's picking fights. Well, if she's picking fights with you, if she's still your girlfriend, well, you need to communicate. If she's dumped you, that's a different story. But if she's still your girlfriend, I'm not you don't go no contact with your girlfriend. That doesn't make any sense. So you gotta, she's being distant, give her some space, but at some point you gotta say, hey, like I care about you. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, you're going through some things. Let's talk. What's the issue? Obviously, you're still together. And so if she wants to end it, that's a different story. Say, look, I I want to fight for our relationship. I want to be here. I care about you. I love you. Let's talk through things. But if she's not willing to do that and she chooses to end things, then you can walk away. But so I don't think you're finished. I think there's a lot of work you guys need to do in between. You're still together. Communicate. Let's see here. Guys, let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. We got 86 people in here and we got 22 likes. Come on. All right. let's get some more likes, man. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Mm. Uh, Victoria says, me and my ex was in a room talking. My son said he wanted to talk to him. My ex said, okay. After that, I didn't hear from him or see him till months later. He said he left because my son said that to him. That doesn't make any sense. To me, he's just not interested. He's not interested. You're telling me your son said he wanted to talk to him, and that because of that, he's not with you? No, that's not the reason. Okay. So you need to look at his actions at face value. All right. That's not the reason he's not with you, Victoria. Let's see here. Chin, chin, yeah. Chin Palat. I don't know. I was in no contact for a month. She reached out multiple times and I always ignored. And she would see me, but we both ignore each other. She said she no longer wanted to be friends anymore. Okay. What's your question? Uh, Niran says, why would an ex start a relationship but yet still text, talk, and act like they are with you? Well, that has a lot to do with what you're willing to accept. I've been in no contact for 1 week once I found out that he was having a relationship with someone else behind my back. Yeah. Okay. So now that you know, good job. Okay. So you figured it out and you backed away. Good job. All right. So obviously he's trying to eat his cake and have it. He's trying to, talk to you and deal with this other person. Obviously, you should not accept that, Neuron. And I'm glad that you didn't. I'm glad that you're standing up for yourself. I'm super proud of you. Super proud of you. So good job for that. He's just trying to eat his cake and have it, and you shouldn't let him do that. Oh, we've got a lot of questions. I might just have to start just picking random questions because I'm so behind. I'm so behind. Okay, let's see. Jolie Tacos says, I've gotten mixed messages about no contact. Some talk about only responding unless the ex says something significant. Some say to respond with reattraction tactics. Could use more clarity. Well, it's not a tactic. And I think that's the first issue is that your whole mindset, you're just fixated on what trick can I use to get my ex back? It's not about a trick. That's the problem. So Jolie, that's your big problem. That's a lot of people's problem. Is like you're so focused on locking your ex into a commitment. You're not focused on doing what's best for you and what's best for your life. Because if you were, what you should be thinking about from this point forward is what works for me. Because at the end of the day, you want to be with someone who loves you, someone who sees you as an equal, someone who wants to build a long-term relationship with you. I would guess that's what you want. Obviously, you still have feelings for your ex. I'm not trying to deny that. But ultimately, big picture, your mindset should be if she's not willing to meet me halfway, then I'm willing to walk away until I find what I'm looking for. If you have the belief in yourself that you are a catch, and so you know that what's for you, someone who's equally yoked is out there, then you don't have attachment to things. You're never trying to force things that aren't there. So when I read that question, it seems like you're using no contact as a game. It's not a game, right? So when you take it away from that perspective and you recognize this is not some game or magic tactic, then why would you ignore them? If they text you, sure, you can text them back, right? But the point is, you're not chasing them, you're not forcing things, you're not trying to lock them down. And as soon as you recognize that they're just trying to waste your time, or they're trying to be friends, which isn't what you want, then you can walk away. But you at least need to give it the opportunity to hear what they're saying. They don't have to, most exes aren't going to text you, hey, I made a mistake, I love you, let's get back together. It's just not going to happen. All right. So most times they're going to start with smaller things. I'm not saying you stay indefinitely, but you can have short conversations. And if they want something deeper, they will initiate. They'll ask to see you. That's like the telltale sign. If they're never asking to see you, then you know, okay, this person is just wasting my time. Then you can walk away because you want more and you don't want to be friends. All right. So stop using no contact as a magic trick. It's not. It's not a magic trick. Okay. Oh, I hope that was helpful to you, bro. All right. So now I'm just gonna pick random questions because I'm really behind. All right. But I'm gonna try to answer people that I haven't answered yet. So Gerson. Gerson says, what do you think about no contact and long distance? Was going to propose on February 14th. She knows that. Called each other soulmates and starting planned a wedding and starting a family in April. Well, obviously she's not in the same place. If you think about it, a lot of times breakup happens because two people they're on different pages. So the fact that your breakup happened, I'm guessing recently, means that February 14th is coming up. She's likely not ready to escalate the relationship. She's not ready to get married, or she would still be with you. So you should be in no contact. Just because it's long distance doesn't mean she can't come back to you. She can, but right now she doesn't want to escalate. That's what her actions are saying anyway. So I would just wait. I wouldn't do anything. Let's see, who haven't I answered? Chase. Chase says 2 days ago I noticed she has unblocked me on all social media platforms. Good, likely because you're in no contact. Oh, what else? Chase had something. Chase had something before then. Let's see. My ex told me it was over after 2 years, took care of her and all. She quickly moved on and was in a rebound relationship, blocked me on all social media. I did the no contact rule for a month. Okay. And then she unblocked you. Good. Don't do anything. Let her keep moving towards you. There's nothing for you to do. There's nothing for you to do. Okay. LaDonna says, hey, 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 hope all is well. Everything's great. Hope all is well with you, LaDonna. Glad you could join us. Yolanda says no contact means I can't post pics on my Facebook story. No, you can post, you can do whatever you like. Just don't post obsessively. Don't post things that, basically trying to get his attention. Okay? Let's see. Coot Ra. Coot Ra says ex has been hot and cold for 6 months while dating a rebound. We've been intimate, had dates. Now she wants to just be friends. I constantly break no contact, my bad. Yet still have been working on me. Yeah, you got to stop breaking no contact, first and foremost. Right? So you're a little too available, you're a little too easy, you're a little too flexible. And so she likely feels she can have you whenever she wants. So she's not going to commit. Okay? Okay, let's see. Giant avocado. That sounds good. Coach, can no contact apply to post first date rejection? I met a perfect match, but I think I scared her off because it seemed too good to be true. She said no chemistry, totally blindsided me. I'm in no contact for over a week and a half. No, you're not in no contact. She's not interested. See, no, no contact. I'm not trying to be mean here, brother, but no contact is under the premise that there's some value exchange, right? There's an emotional past. There's a history in the relationship. If you went on one date and she said it's not a match, she doesn't care about not hearing from you. Matter of fact, she probably hopes that you never contact her again. And I'm not trying to be mean here, but I need you to see things as they are. This is what I say. Like, some people think no contact is a magic bullet. It is not. It is not. Okay. You went on one date. She said you're not compatible. She likely would never care if she never hears from you again. Likely. It's not impossible, but your chances are extremely slim because she hasn't built an emotional connection with you. She doesn't really know you. So she's not missing anything when you don't talk to her. Okay, so sorry about that, but if I were you, I'd get back on a horse and go date someone else. Let's see here. Huh. Uh, let's see who's after. My ex. This is ex. Yeah, I think he's Roman numerals. I don't know what number that is. What's that? 100 and yeah, I don't know. My ex dumped me because I wasn't becoming the man she wanted. Open doors, be a yes man. She gave me the ultimatum of being friends. I said no, thanked her, blocked her. Yeah, let me just say, no woman that loves you wants you to be a yes man anyway. She might want you to love on her. She might want you to take good care of her. But I don't think that's why she dumped you because you weren't a yes man. I don't think so. Let's see here. You know, she wants an equal partner. She wants someone that she loves and someone that is just as important as she is. So she likely dumped you for other reasons. Pierre says, "Is it hopeless for no contact if it was a very loving and healthy short-term relationship, 3 months, and long distance? We never fought, and it was just simple and easy. Well, simple and easy is good, all right? But 3 months in long distance, that just doesn't sound, at least on paper, like you likely built a deep connection. It's not impossible, but just on paper, what you've told, to me, it's less likely to work for that situation. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm just picking random ones. Sade says, my ex went back to his kid's mother over a month ago. Still no contact. I'm still hurt, but I'm standing my ground. I will not contact him. Won't even try unless he reaches out first. So be it. Absolutely. That's what you got to do. All right, let's see. This one is 4M's. That's the name. I blocked him the first 5 days. I went no contact because I didn't think I was strong enough to do it without blocking him. We were in the middle of texting when I did it. Was it okay to block him? Day 8, no contact. And no, you shouldn't have blocked him because, again, you want him to come to you. Well, when you block him, now you set up a scenario because this is what you're always going to be asking yourself. I wonder if he texted me when he was blocked. I wonder if he said something. I wonder if he said he misses me. I wonder if he wanted to get back together. And so what you're going to end up doing at some point is you're going to reach out to him. And now you've messed up the whole process because as soon as you reach out, now you're back to chasing him. This is why you don't block. At least leave the lines of communication open. Let them reach out when they're ready. And then you can decide to take them back or not. Okay. Let's see here. Uh, okay. Let's see. Malika. Malika says, why do avoidance seem like the perfect partner at the beginning, and how do you reattract them? Well, big picture, like what you got to understand is that one, at the beginning of the relationship, they're super comfortable because you haven't developed much of an emotional connection with them. So you're likely still a little bit distant and they feel comfortable with the pace that things are going at. All right. But obviously, as you know, over time, as you start to fall deeper in love with them, as you start caring about them more, eventually they get to a point where they recognize that they're losing their freedom, or at least they feel like they're losing their freedom. And then they back away. So avoidance are very tricky because you got to make sure that this person is aware that they are an avoidant, and likely the person you're dating isn't. And you got to make sure that they're aware and that they're willing to work on their attachment style issues and become more secure. Because attachment styles, at least research shows that attachment styles can change. Attachment styles are plastic. So people can evolve, but it takes a while. It takes a while. It could take multiple years for someone to completely evolve from an anxious or an avoidant to more secure. So one, even if you were to get them back, you got to understand it's not going to be a short and easy process. It's going to be a long, difficult, arduous process. And so are you ready and willing to reset your expectations and accept someone that who doesn't feel all the way committed at times, who tends to back away, right? But as long as this person is aware and they're willing to work on those things, I think it's possible. But the easiest way to attract them back is to let them go because they got to feel that sense of freedom. They got to feel that sense of autonomy, and that's going to raise attraction for sure. Okay. Hope that was helpful for you, Malika. Malika. Uh, Giant Avocado said, I had an amazing date with the perfect match. And she said, no, it was a perfect date for you. Okay, you're projecting, because if it was a perfect date for her, guess what? You'd still be dating. Let me tell you, this is another thing about human nature, especially us men. Men are very guilty of this in like early dating. You tend to project your feelings onto the other person. So because you're feeling like, oh, it was an amazing date, she's looking great, I love her, I'm ready to get married tomorrow, you're projecting how you feel about her and thinking that that's how she feels about you. Look at her action. She literally told you no chemistry. So I would take her at face value. I would accept that premise, especially it's only been one date. If she didn't even like, if she was even on the fence, like thought it was decent, she'd at least give you an opportunity for a second date. So no, I don't think she was that interested, my guy. You need to be moving on. Gerson says, do you do one-on-one coaching? I do. If you want to book a coaching session, like all of my videos have a link to one-on-one coaching. It's in the link and it's in the description. So if you click on any of my videos, you go to the description, there's a one-on-one coaching section. So you click that and you can book a call. We can do I got a 30-minute call and I got an hour. And some people do email coaching. Okay. So it's up to you. Do whatever works for you. And thank you all, by the way, for your patience. I know there's a lot of questions coming in, and I'll get to as many as I can. Okay. All right. Giant avocado. You better, I know you're joking with that last statement. I'm not even going to say it because YouTube is censoring it, but obviously life is beautiful. Focus on moving on and dating someone else, my friend. It'll be fine. You will find someone to love you like you love them. Trust me. Okay. Wee Aura. That's the name. Wee. Okay, it says my ex and I have been on and off for 2 years. I get anxious, then he breaks up with me and says it's too much, but then comes back a month or two later. He would stalk my socials and friends. Yeah, I think 2 years is enough period in time where you need to be like, okay, he's not ready or willing to give me what I'm looking for. All right, because every time you get close, we get a little bit anxious. He runs away. You give him space. He comes back. That's a 2 year cycle. That's a waste of time. I would be finding someone who's going to stay with you. Let's see here. Ed 4 says, should I have hope of my ex of 4 months to return? She became distant and then cold during the winter break, so I decided to give her space, but she never reached out since after 5 weeks. 5 weeks is not that long, so be patient. Okay? So it sounds like you kept talking to her after the breakup. So you broke up 4 months ago. You kept talking, but you've been in no contact for 5 weeks. Stay no contact. Let's see what happens. J Film says, I just removed my ex from social media after finding out she was hanging out with another guy and that I know of who happened to try to talk to her when we were together. Was that the right thing? Well, that sounds like a tantrum, like removing her. But let me say this, okay? I'm not trying to dismiss what you did, but what you need to do is you have to be congruent with your actions. So to me, right, it sounds like she violated the trust. Even though you're not together, she's kind of been setting this thing up since before you broke up. So yeah, I do think that's a little bit disloyal. So when you walk away, you gotta mean it. And to me, it doesn't sound like you mean it because you removed her, but you're in this comment section asking, was it the right move? So you likely removed her to get a reaction. You're hoping that she comes back. All right. So is this actually a boundary for you? You got to be consistent and congruent. If something is a deal breaker, then it's a deal breaker. You walk away and never look back. But if you removed her because you're unhappy, but you're really doing it as a tactic because you're hoping she comes back, that's not a good thing. All right. So that's my advice to you. Let's see here. Let's pick another random question. Juan. Juan's question is, hi, my ex broke up with me just a month ago after 12 years together. Wow, that's a long time. He told me that this last year we were leaving each other, that she didn't, are you saying she or he? I think it's she. But she didn't feel happy. We talked a week ago, and he. Okay, now you change it to he. Juan, you're confusing me. We talked a week ago, and he told me that she did. Okay, you use he and she like interchangeably when you're talking about the same person. It's confusing. I can't even follow. No, it's too confusing. I can't even follow. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Okay. EA says if a guy you've been dating for 2 years asks for space, you push against that, then he blocks. Will he be back? Maybe after he gets the space he's asking for. Stop trying to force people to do what they don't want to do. Okay. I know this is hard to hear, but love is allowing, love is freedom. You got to let people come to you at their own pace. Stop forcing things. When you force things, you get blocked, you get ghosted, you get disrespected. Okay. So it's possible that he comes back after he gets the space he's asking for. Okay. Who else? Let's get some more questions. Let's see here. Okay, I think I'm close. Okay, let's go. Will says we broke up because I got news from another girl trying to prove a point to a friend to help him out and show him he shouldn't mess with the girl because she's a gold digger trying to be a big bro. Yeah, that sounds kind of messy and probably it's not impossible, but again, why are you playing silly games? Right? So to me, you know, I can't remember what the saying is. I think it's Occam's razor that says the simplest explanation is usually the right one. So if you use that principle to her, the simplest explanation is that you have news of another woman because you asked for them for yourself. So if that's the case, in her mind at least, you cheated on her. So all you can do is apologize and tell her you're sorry, you made a mistake, and try to make it right. But if she walks away, after that, you can go into no contact. But you stop playing silly games like that, dude. You should not be playing silly games trying to prove a point to your bro. Okay? I hope that wasn't harsh, my guy. Let's see. Let's go with Gilo. Gilo says, hey coach, why do good men finish last? Few women I dated, they always say I'm too good to be true and then end up leaving or giving up. Is it because most women are attracted to bad boys? LOL. Okay, let me answer this question. Okay. And I'm speaking from my experience, one personally, and also from coaching at this point over 1,000 women, I would guess. So let me tell you what it is, okay? In my perspective, I'm not a woman, but this is just my experience. So it's not that women like bad boys and good men finish last. What I've found consistently in a lot of good men is that a lot of times you tend to not have any boundaries. You tend to come off as weak at times. You tend to come off as insecure at times. And a woman, when she's in a relationship with you, she wants an equal partner. So, what does that mean? If you allow your person, and this goes for both people, a man or a woman, but especially a woman, if you allow her to just run all over you or mistreat you at times, sometimes all you have to say is, hey, I don't appreciate that. Like, I love you, but let's talk to each other with respect. When you have no boundaries, it actually turns women off. So a lot of good men, a lot of times you can come off as needy. you're blowing up her phone all the time, thinking that, well, that shows I'm a good guy. No, you gotta at least give her some space at times. Let her feel free. So G-Lo, my guess is, women want good men. They love good men, but they are, at times it comes off like they're attracted to bad boys because the bad boy, quote unquote bad boy, has boundaries. He respects himself. He doesn't allow people to mistreat him, right? He kind of marches to the beat of his own drums, right? He goes for his own goals, his visions, his ambitions, where good men at times just always put other people first, right? I'm telling you, a woman wants a man that's her equal, a partner, and you have a vision for the future together. So if you're always putting your needs last, you're always getting disrespected, you're always blowing up her phone, you never give her any space, and you're not taking the lead, protecting and providing, all that good man stuff, you're going to turn her off over time. Okay, so I hope that was helpful for you, G-Lo. I do think women want good men, but you gotta have to combine being good with setting and enforcing healthy boundaries. If every woman is saying you're too good for me, that tells me that you basically likely don't have much boundaries and you're getting pushed around and disrespected, etc. All right, so let's see here. Who else we got? All right, we got about 4 more minutes, so we'll do a couple more questions, and we got to call it a night. Let's see here. G9 says, "Where's your question above G-Lo?" Let's do G9. Your question is long, and you're using a bunch of like. You got to ask your questions better, but let's try. G9 says, "Hi, coach. I stay strong and I only improve myself so that even if we don't get back together, I'll know that I'm more than enough after 4 months span. Texting only occasionally, not regarding getting back together, just stuff like clothes. After the breakup, she kept viewing my stories, even after she unfollowed me, which I did first. I'm now in my first month of no contact. What do you think?" You got to stay no contact. Let's see what happens. You stayed as friends for too long, which you shouldn't have done, for 4 months. So even though you weren't talking about getting back together, you were talking all the time as friends, which you shouldn't have done. But either way, you started the right thing. Now you're in no contact, which is great. Let's see what happens. It's only been a month, so I would be more patient and waiting to see if you get any traction, if anything happens. Let's see here. Let's get a couple more. Juan, I told you you were using he and she for the same person, and I'm confused. And you kept on typing other aspects. So your question, Juan, is complicated. My suggestion to you is you need to book a call. Like we need to have a conversation, honestly, Juan. I would love to help you, but your questions are very confusing and I'm not following. I'm not following at all. Okay? All right, let's pick someone else. Let's see here. Paulos. We're going to do Paulos and then we're going to call it after Paulos. Paulo says, "My ex broke up with me a month back. She reached out to me a couple of times soon after with an ordinary hey message. Should I reach out to her if the conversation ended?" Well, those conversations are what I like to call a missed opportunity. Because if she's texting you, hey, she's wanting to see what you're going to do about it. Now, some other people will tell you to do nothing. I would tell you, if she's reaching out to you, especially multiple separate times, it's okay for you to set up getting together. Relationships are not built over the phone. You cannot build a relationship over the phone. So if you think you're going to text your way back into your ex's heart, you are wrong. You don't text your way back into a relationship. It does not work that way. They got to be around you. They got to feel your energy. You got to be laughing, joking, teasing. Then you're building or rebuilding the relationship. Okay. So if she's texting you every other day or every week or two, it's okay to invite her to do something. Ask her out casually, relaxed, with no pressure. Let her feel like she's free to come and go as she pleases, and she likely will agree to get together with you. Okay, so that's my suggestion to you is that next time she texts you, I would wait for the next reach out, initiate a get together. Okay, need you to remember this always. You do not build relationships over the phone. It does not work that way. Okay, anyway, so we're gonna end the live here tonight. I do appreciate everyone for coming. I know I couldn't get to every single person's question, but let me say, if you want to talk, we can do so one-on-one. You can book a coaching call, click the link in any of my videos, and you'll see where you can book a call. Okay, that's the easiest way to reach out to me so we can talk. Okay, thank you all for being here. I do appreciate each and every one of you. I know you're calling from all different time zones, so again, appreciate you for being here. If you want to talk, book a call and we'll talk then. Especially Juan, he's still typing. Or she. You keep using he and she. I can't even tell. I can't tell. Anyway, love you guys. Peace. Take care.